concerns me deeply. Really, profoundly important.
Is it the amendment to the administrative order on stock control and government establishment?
No.
Or the procedure for the renewal of local authority leaseholds in special development areas?
No, what concerns me is a great issue, really, of life and death.
Oh. Shouldn't that wait till after work?
It is work.
Oh, really? Well, please go on.
How do British armaments manufacturers sell their arms to foreigners?
Well, I believe you have to get an export license from the Department of Trade.
So private firms can sell their arms abroad?
Private companies and government agencies.
To whom do they sell?
Well, foreign governments, usually.
Is that all?
Well, sometimes you can sell to an arms dealer, third party. Perhaps a little man in Manchester buys on behalf of a party in the Channel Islands who has a contact in Luxembourg.
So there's no real control over who the arms go to in the end?
Oh, indeed there is. The dealer has to provide an end-user certificate, which is a signature acceptable to Her Majesty's government, that the ultimate customer is in fact an approved user.
Well, is that a real guarantee? I mean, would you be surprised, for instance, if a British aircraft carrier turned up in the Central African Republic?
Well, I, for one, Minister, would be very surprised. It's 1,000 miles inland.
Yes, you know what I mean. What about smaller weapons?
Well, it's visually impossible. There's stringent security, rigorous inspection procedures, meticulous scrutiny.
You mean it's all a facade?
I think perhaps this conversation should end here, don't you, Minister?
No. It's as I thought. Last night, a confidential source disclosed to me that British arms are being sold to Italian red terrorist groups.
I see. May I ask who this confidential source was?
Humphrey, I just said it was confidential.
Oh, I'm sorry. I naturally assumed that meant you were going to tell me.
You seem to be very worried by this information.
Well, these things happen all the time. It's not our problem.
So does robbery with violence. Doesn't that worry you?
No, Minister. Home Office problem.
Humphrey, we're letting terrorists get hold of murderous weapons.
We're not.
Well, who is?
Well, who knows? Department of Trade, Ministry of Defence, Foreign Office.
We, Humphrey, the British government. Innocent lives are being set at risk by British arms in the hands of terrorists.
Only Italian lives, not British lives.
With British tourists abroad.
Tourists? Foreign Office problem.
Humphrey, we have to do something.
With respect, Minister, we have to do nothing.
What do you mean?
The sale of arms abroad is one of those areas of government that we do not examine too closely.
Well, I have to, now that I know about
Well,
it.
you can say you don't know.
You're suggesting I should lie?
Oh, not you, Mr. No.
Well, who should lie?
Sleeping dogs, Minister.
Now, I'm going to raise this.
No, Minister, I beg you. A basic rule of government is never look into anything you don't have to. And never set up an inquiry unless you know in advance what its findings will be.
Leave this. We're talking about good and evil.
Our Church of England problem.
No, Humphrey. Our problem. We are discussing right and wrong.
You may be, Minister, but I'm not. It would be a serious misuse of government time.
Selling arms to terrorists is wrong. Can't you see that, Humphrey?
No, Minister. Either you sell arms or you don't. If you sell them, they will inevitably end up with people who have the cash to buy them.
But not terrorists.
Well, I suppose we could put some sort of government health warning on the rifle, but... This gun can seriously damage your health.
It's all very well to take this lightly, Humphrey, but we cannot close our eyes to something that is as morally wrong as this.
Very well, Minister. If you insist on making me discuss moral issues, may I point out to you that something is either morally wrong or it isn't. It can't be slightly morally wrong.
No, don't quibble, Humphrey.
Government isn't about morality.
Really? What is it about, then?
Stability. Keeping things going. Preventing anarchy. Stopping society. Falling to bits. Still being here tomorrow.
What for?
I beg your pardon.
What is the ultimate purpose of government, if it isn't for doing good?
Minister, government isn't about good and evil. It's only about order or chaos.
And it's in order for Italian terrorists to get British bombs. And you don't care.
It's not my job to care. That's what politicians are for. My job is to carry out government policy.
Even if you think it's wrong?
Well, almost all government policy is wrong, but frightfully well carried out.